enough that we can get to our feature match area and watch Kenton Stalder with Mono Green Aggro against Emma Handy playing Four Color Song of Creation. And see, look, the Mammoth right there, bang. Mammoth is the first land. So there you go.
That's important. Like that mono green deck. Like I said, you have 25 lands, and you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But also, you don't have a whole lot to do with your extra mana or your lands, and so getting the best of both worlds there is really really important for a deck like mono green.
Yorvo the first play. However, there's a Lotus Cobra still on the battlefield, and that's never good for anybody. So, Crack Ground Pathway could come down, end the battlefield on tap, trigger the Cobra, give you a white mana, play Omnath. Omnath, of course, draw a card. So, we'll see what route we're going to go this game here for Handy. There are a lot of removal spells in the hand here for Kenton. A couple copies of Primal Might. There looks like there's also a Ram Through, Gem Razor as well in the grip, and then Turn Timber Symbiosis. So there's some things to like here for our mono green player who's 1-0 early on today.
Problem is that even if you're able to answer the threats as they emerge, it's just so much extra mana and life, and Handy's playing with significantly more powerful cards in her deck. So it's not just a function of killing these things. Now, if you don't, game's probably over on the spot. But even the removal spells in hand are no guarantee to get Kenton out of this bind.
Well, here is a Gem Razor. Now we're going to see Primal Might on the Omnath. So we got an 8-power Trampler. Omnath plus Yorvo, Gem Razor plus Yorvo, they are really, really good friends. So killing the payoff threats and not killing the Cobra, and basically hoping the Cobra can't ramp out anything too crazy. Naturally, if you allow Omnath to stay on the battlefield, it can probably ramp out too much because of all the landfall triggers. So we have an 8-8, which is a real clock against this 4-color song deck, and you can take a look at the texture of Emma's hand and realize that there's not a lot of great stuff going on here. Uro is not going to be helping all that much. Bone Crusher Giant, more importantly, Stomp has been outclassed. Escape to the Wilds is not what the doctor ordered right now, so I think advantage Kenton in a very meaningful way right now.
I think so too. Now, Handy's got a lot of ways to draw cards, make extra mana, and gain some life. So she's not, out of the game just yet. But she does eventually have to find something to be able to handle an 8-8 Trampler, which her deck is not great at, sort of as a starting point. And then if you look at Kenton's leftovers, it's a lot of removal, and Ram Through with an 8-8 Trampler is going to make short work of Lotus Cobra or any other small blockers and mana accelerators that Handy tries to put out there.
All right, well, there's a pathway. Here's a Cobra, 2 triggers. Blue and a green. We got a white. We got an Uro. Okay, well, the Lotus Cobra generally does lead to some pretty broken things. So here's your Uro trigger. There's a land. Put a land on the battlefield. Okay, so that'll be 2 more Lotus Cobra triggers. So you could add a blue and a green and then an Uro again, I suppose. Yep, I think that's what we're going to see here. So here's a trigger. There's another pathway. Okay, so we're doing some significant ramping here. This is pretty notable. Yep.
Getting Uros for a mana here. It's not bad.
Yeah, this isn't bad. Cushion. So 2 triggers, but because I don't think I just there's not enough cards in the graveyard or anything like that to get back Uro from the graveyard right now. So red and a green, maybe you just cast the Bone Crusher Giant and set up for an escape turn next turn. Okay. And now get in here, getting your little beatdowns. All right, well, Stoneclaw Serpent's the draw. Not exactly what the doctor ordered right now, so let's see where we're going to go. We're going to go Turn Timber Symbiosis as a land. And we have the ability to play a pretty big Primal. We'll see what X is going to equal here momentarily. But yeah, if I'm Kenton, I'm not feeling great about things. I've gotten 8 on the battlefield, which is pretty big, and it's only getting bigger now because of the Primal Might. But I'm just thinking to myself, I need to kill my opponent really, really fast. Let's see this Ram Through. You're going to get it for 9 damage through. Yeah, okay, the Emma's just dead. Nice. That's pretty sick. Ram Through's pretty powerful, huh?
Good looking turn. Looked good to me.
Yeah, yeah. Not bad at all. So Ken Stradler's going to win game number 1 there over Emma Handy. Emma, also that game, that was a game in which we cast we went Lotus Cobra, Omnath, play another Cobra, Uro twice, play a Bone Crusher Giant, and then die. So mono green, attacking for a lot of damage. And if you are interested in attacking for commander damage and boatloads of regular damage, Justin Parnell, Jonathan Suarez, Jeremy Knowles, Stephen Green, they've got your back on Commander Versus every Wednesday at 5 p.m. East Coast time. StarCityGames.com is the place to go. You can also find that show, of course, on our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/StarCityGames. But Parnell, Suarez, Knoll, and, of course, the American Dream, Stephen Green, bringing you all the Commander fun here at StarCityGames.com. As we're going to get ready here for game number 2 here in just a moment. That was a game in which Lotus Cobra didn't die, Patrick, and was not victorious.
Lotus Cobra on the play, didn't die, and not even a particularly contested game. And maybe that's the way that you got to approach aggro in this format. You know, if everyone has to be all in on cheap spot removal to handle Lotus Cobra, you're even seeing people play like cards that deal 1 damage in their main deck to be able to interact with Lotus Cobra reliably. The answer might be to make something big. And the ramp deck did not look very effective at handling an 8/8 trampler there on the 4th turn.
Yeah, I have been. I was actually a little bit curious about the inclusion of Gemraiser in the main deck here for Kenton. Because there aren't, I don't think, a ton of artifacts and enchantments to kill in the format right now. But I will say that the fact that it does partner up so well with Yorvo, of course, enters the battlefield with 4+1/+1 counters because it's a base 0/0, and then Gemraiser in combination with Mutate, that makes that thing into an 8 as we saw in that game. I mean, that's pretty powerful stuff, actually. So that might just make it good enough on its own. And then if there are a few enchantments or artifacts that you actually incidentally kill, even better. So a nice game there for Stradler as we get ready here for game number 2. And we're starting off with a Swarm Shambler. That's a new one from Zendikar Rising.
Is this your Pelt Collector replacement here?
Yeah, I mean, it is your attempt at a Pelt Collector replacement. They're very different cards, of course, as Ramthur is going to take care of that Lotus Cobra. Swarm Shambler is 1 mana, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter, so good in combination with Gemraiser. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. So, I guess the thought is, if you have to kill something with a +1/+1 counter, you get paid off a little bit, and then 1 tap, put a +1/+1 counter on Swarm Shambler, so you can grow it up a little bit, but it's not. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. So here's Fertile Footsteps off the Bone Crusher Giant.
Hey, guess what? That Mythic, that wasn't free right there. That was 3 damage.
That was 3 damage, and an aggro deck loves to see it. Swarm Shambler is going to shamble on in. That's an awkward draw. Oh no!
Don't like that.
Well, it ain't free. Playing 4 colors. It ain't free. Let's see how this works. Okay, so that's a nice, cute little combo. So you kill the Swarm Shambler, and it's like, okay, I get a creature. Yorvo gets bigger. I get a creature now. Yorvo gets bigger. I play a Swarm Shambler. Yorvo gets bigger. What's coming up next? Lovestruck Beast. Yorvo doesn't trigger on that one. Now, bang. I think it's over. Unreal.
Great machine.
Is the Green Machine back? Do I gotta go back on Arena? Oh no, not like this, Kenton. Not like this. Do I have to fire it back up? I mean, that was the beatdown of